And a pirate's life for me. A pirate's life for me. A pirate's life for me. And I really don't know the song. I'm just winging it at this point. Welcome to Killing Time, folks. I am your host, Vash Killjoy. Don't mind the eye patch, please. Still have a sty in my eye. Still not completely healed. Almost there. So I'm used to you folks watching me make a complete ass out of myself in front of this camera. I'd rather you not watch me disgust you with my disgustingness. So just bear with the eye patch just one time. Thank you. Love you. And moving on, today's little rambling of mine is going to be those in charge. Those in charge are important because they are in charge of us. But more importantly, it's election time, which means we got to decide between Obama or Romney. There are some third-party candidates out there. They're all down there in the pool, trying to let us know that they're down there. They have good points and strong cases. But let's face it, Republicans and Democrats run this country. They've run it for a long time. So unless something magical happens, that they're in the forefront, or somebody really strong comes along and says, "Hey, I'm here too. Listen to me. I got good shit." We're not gonna hear them. So sorry, guys. Thanks for trying. We'll see you again in another 4 years. Anyways, moving on. Yes, who's in charge? Republicans, Democrats, Romney or Obama, which way you want to go, and all that good stuff in between. It comes down to who do you believe will run the country better in the next 4 years, and I think that's kind of a bullshit argument when you think about how this government is run. Yes, the commander in chief is like the final gavel at a court case. He hears a case and goes, "All right, it's official. We will do that. We will hopscotch on Fridays at 2 o'clock for 15 minutes." That kind of a power stroke. But I think people keep forgetting that it's not just him in charge. He's the be all end all. It's a system. There's Congress. There's the Senate. There's the Supreme Court. It's all bits and pieces together that form the government at large and make the laws of the land be what they are. So how does that affect us? It's pretty much simple. It's pretty much if you strip it down and say, all right, I want a Democratic president. Boom, you put a Democratic president. Or if you're a Republican, you want a Republican president. And you gotta make sure now that the Congress and the Senate is mostly Republican because they defend each other, they push each other's their bills and points through. Now, if you truly believe that no, they gotta work together and be bipartisan, they gotta do that little thing, you're fooling yourself. Republicans back Republicans, Democrats back Democrats. Occasionally, they'll kind of interswap here and there depending on certain issues, but for the most part, that's how it is. That's how it's always been. It's never going to change. So if you want a Republican president, boom, make sure you put in Republican congressmen and senates. Otherwise, the country you think you want will never come to be. We'll always be in this mode of meh, 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 meh. But I said meh, 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 meh. But in reality, it's meh, 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 meh. You just get fucked. That's just how it is. You need all the pieces, at least the majority of the pieces, I should say, to be on one side of the plane. Otherwise, it's 50-50. There'll always be this clash. It'll never change. So if you want Obama, vote for Obama. Make sure, though, you put in the Congress, you put in the Senate, Democratic Party members, so that there's little resistance to the things he wants to do. Same token, if you want Romney, you got Romney in. You need to have the Republicans have control of the Congress and the Senate. Otherwise, all things Romney wants to do, the Democrats are going to be like, fuck you, nigga, we got the majority. We ain't letting shit in here. That's just how this thing works. Now, I have issues with the government. I've always said this in public views. I have issues with the government, how it's run, certain policies, behind the door policies that they're made to light by whistleblowers that, it takes a whistleblower to constantly, go against the grain and put his career and sometimes even life in danger for the things that go behind the scenes into light. But I understand there are worse places I can be. I can be in Somalia. I can be in Iran. I could be, any of those third world countries where they really hate our guts, or even worse, where poverty is just absolutely horrendous. So I understand there are worse places to be. I do have this love-hate thing with this little country of ours. I love it because I'm here. I love the freedoms I have, but I'm starting to hate it because more and more and more, the more you do, thanks to the internet, the more and more you dig, you do realize that your freedoms are always constantly being put into question, possibly taken away in small little ways, and the doors are constantly being pushed to see about what doors you can close behind you and have those freedoms taken away from you. So I do have a love-hate thing when it comes to this country. But back to my original rambling, control. Romney, Obama, Republicans, Democrats. No matter how you slice it, just understand it's not just one guy. It's a conglomerate. It's a big, massive piece of the puzzle. It's It's the Congress, it's the Senate, it's the President, it's the Supreme Court. It's all one massive circle. So if you really think you're gonna have one guy rule it all, you're shitting yourself. If you believe Obama's a man, you're shitting yourself. If you think Obama's a man, you're shitting yourself. It's the conglomerate. It's the one super piece. Unless they all agree on one thing, which is not likely most times than not, you're never gonna get the results you want. Case in point, and I'll use the most extreme case I can think of in recent memory, is the World Trade Center attacks. Buildings went down. All red flags pointed to Osama bin Laden in Pakistan and his group out there and everything else. And you would think we all band together, the government band together and say, all right, folks, here's the evidence. Boom, boom, boom. This guy's a credit and it has more than enough proof that he did it. Let's do it. Let's get that son of a bitch and make everybody happy. We all agree? Aye. What the fuck happened? The guy in charge was a big old school Texas oil man, and his friends were in charge and said, we could do that, but we can also do this, and then led to the other war and all that stuff. Do Google, read up on it. That's not the place for this, but that's the point I'm trying to make. Know who's in charge, because even the most extreme cases, you would think, yes, we all agree on this. Something may, depending who's in charge, they may go, maybe this will work out better instead. Didn't work out that way, but that's neither here or there at this point. So don't believe that one guy above all else is the be all end all. It's one super piece. Vote for who you think you want there, who will work, that will work out the best. But make sure you support. If you support Romney, make sure you support his Republican friends in the Congress and Senate. Make sure you support Republicans all around. Otherwise, it's for naught. You can't say I want Romney as president, but then go Democratic in Congress and Senate because the things Romney will want, those guys over there will just say fuck you. Ain't never gonna happen. So remember, charge. Who you want to charge is very important, because then if you keep doing this thing where you don't have this balance out, leave it open to anarchists. And anarchists could be anyone. It could be the guy that wants to blow up a building because he hates puppies. The group out there, that wants us dead because all this great freedom we have. Or we can give rise to a whole new group that's fighting, change the government through internet means or whatever. There's always another avenue to go if you don't push the right buttons, and always another avenue to go if you push the wrong buttons and bring about these anarchists and these activists, hacktivists, whatever you want to do. Case in point, this group, these guys, think of them what you want. There are times when they come on the field and they bat for human rights, and everyone goes huzzah. And there are a couple of times when they do a couple of things, and people go, why the hell they do that? It's because of who's in charge. At some point, the clashing, the bickering, all that fights, they eventually got together and said, F this, took to the streets, the masses, internet in this case, made their case, made their points, went after the government at large, and they got a following. Who's to say that the next group that comes along isn't as kind as them, as opposed to just hacking the internet and stuff like that. What if the next group that comes along is like, you know what, screw this shit, let's take the government back and start coming out with guns and rifles and everything else. It's a bit of an extreme, but these are doors that are always open. These are avenues to always explore if you truly believe the one guy in charge controls it all. The 50-50 bickering will eventually give cause to these kind of things in the world we live in. So yes, election time. I always have this thing of the lesser of two evils. I think it's a puss out. I think it's a cop out. You should never choose the lesser of two evils unless it's an extreme case. I think this is one time I can break my own rule and think this is an extreme case where I think, do I vote for Obama or do I vote for Romney? And my stake on this is that 4 years later. Now, before people start slamming Obama, what has he done in 4 years? Let's face it, he inherited a crappy system. Now, if you're truly believing he's gonna make a magical, any man at that, any president after Bush was gonna come right in and in 4 years do a major dent in $1 trillion deficit, you're smoking some hard shit, and I'm very angry at you for not sharing because I need to be enlightened like you are that somebody was gonna pull that off. You're still stitching up a massive hole. So if you really believe that in 4 years later, him or any man was going to make a magical dent, you're shitting yourself. Now, 4 years later, now we can make the case of, is he the guy to really put us on the right path to fix that other mess, or is Romney the guy? I really believe that the current president is in better shape to do better than what Romney can do. and Rami, unfortunately for me, brings back too many memories of the guy before him, big money kind of guy that really sees his own world, his own point of view, the stretchy in the business land. You would think a businessman is the right guy to have in charge, but the problem is, in the world of business, your job is to fuck the other competitors. And in America, we're mostly competitors by nature, so I'm pretty much sure if it's between us and him, he's gonna vote for him and fuck everybody else. That's just how I see that. So please don't take me hard on that, but that's how I see it. You talk your own opinion, your own voice, your own little beliefs, but that's my personal thing. So I think between the two guys who have the gavel, the be all end all, which I think again is bullshit, but if I'm gonna choose which guy's gonna have the final say at the moment in time, if that exists, I would rather have Obama than Romney. Now once that's done, I will come back to my reality of fighting the government as far as things that need to be fixed that aren't put to light, and that's a whole other mess here and there. So my rambling this week is simply this. If you're gonna want Romney, if you're gonna want Obama, make sure you put all the pieces in place to get the government you want. Ah! If you want Obama, get the Obama crew, Congress, Senate. If you want Romney, same thing. Get the Republican, Congress, and Senate. Otherwise, this constant cycle of bullshit will never end. The guy in charge is full of shit, will always be full of shit. It's the pieces around him that will make him look good. Always has been, always will be. It's team mentality. So, there you are. That's election time. Here's my little, eye patch. That's how it is. That is it for Killing Time. Please join me every Friday here. I'll be here rambling away. Please check out the Silly Bastards podcast on iTunes. It's up. It's free. Why should you argue with free? You shouldn't, because it's free. So, take care, folks. Till next time, I am Killjoy. Bye-bye.